Camera's rolling.
In 1776, a man named Richard Arkwright developed a spinning frame that spun thread in preparation of weaving. The spinning frame was a powered machine that anyone could operate. His prototype, developed in 1768, was powered by horses. He was then funded to build a larger one, where his frames could be powered by a water wheel. He was a pivotal figure in the revolution that turned Britain into the world's first industrialized nation.
Workers in the 18th century began drinking tea because it had caffeine, which sharpened their minds and kept them alert during their long shifts. Unlike beer, which gently dulls the mind, tea improves concentration. The natural antibacterial properties of tea were also an advantage, since they reduced the prevalence of waterborne disease, even when the water used to make tea had not been properly boiled.
The demand for tea boosted a new demand for tea crockery, which are the plates and cups often made of china that tea was typically drank out of. This happened because tea was a more common proper drink and its traditional glassware had to correspond with it. This increased demand for crockery changed their production dramatically. Individual men no longer made each item from the beginning to the end. Instead, they each worked on a single aspect of the item and became increasingly skilled in their specific task. This was popularized by Joshua Wedgwood and his company, which also was the first company to use celebrity endorsements for their products, which Richard Twinning's tea company was the first to use a logo on both his shop and his product, which was the example of marketing and it considered to have been the first foundation of consumerism.
Britain was primed for industrial revolution for many reasons, such as scientific tradition, Protestant work ethics, lots of religious tolerance. It was set right on top of massive coal veins, efficient roads, and a massive empire that supplied money to fund the efforts of the inventors and businessmen. The British love of tea also proved to be a factor, as it kept disease at bay in cities and fended off hunger for many workers in their long factory shifts. Tea fueled the workers, which in turn fueled industrialization.
Where I went wrong, but I can write a song.
The company that supplied the majority of Britain's tea was the East India Company, which generated more money than the British government at its height. Due to this company's spread, it had both indirect and direct power over the British government. The officials in this company were thus able to buy their way into power and have a massive impact on the way the country was run.
I don't think you're right for him. Think of what it might have been. Took a bus to China.